Thank you for the introduction. We will show something on CeBIT, and as you maybe remember last year we have an impressive big booth at CeBIT, and we show as one of the only IT vendors the complete portfolio, which is out of our own manufacturing and own development, which is very important for us. I will show you a little bit more about this. I need a clicker to go forward. Okay, we'll find it. Okay. I think I have more time because the other guy don't use this the whole time. Okay. Anyhow, to give you a little bit of update, because the funny story of Huawei is, a lot of people are asking me, oh, Huawei, is this the island close to USA, means Hawaii? No, I'm from Huawei, which is a global ICT vendor, and we are #1 in this market. And I think it's important that you know some numbers about our small company that we already have. Recently, we are a company with over 150,000 employees globally. I will show you a little bit more numbers later on. And last year, we approached in global revenue $46 billion globally in terms of revenue, which is quite a big number and which is quite reflecting a big growth rate year by year. If you see this, the growth rate from 2014 to 15 or 13 to 14 reflects over 20% growth rate, which is quite impressive for companies like us, which are really big in the world as well. But it's really big growth if you compare it with other vendors in the market which are doing similar things as we do. So you see, and this is very important to understand, because most people thinking, we are a company from China, and so most of the business is in China, and this is the reason why they are so big. And this is the reason why I bring this chart with me. If you see this chart structure, our revenue out of China is only by 35% out of the total global share of revenue. And this is, I think, impressive more for especially the European guys, that most contribution for revenue is coming out of the EMEA region. And in this EMEA region, the region of UK, Germany, Italy, and especially Africa, is one of the most business drivers for Huawei business in a global perspective. So forget about, sure, we are a company which comes from China, but meanwhile, we are a global distributor and global supplier for ICT technology as well, which offers a global complete broad portfolio, which I will show you later a little bit more. So for sure, some marketing numbers. We are leading technologies. We are belonging to the 300 top innovative companies in the world. Some small companies are a little bit ahead of us, but we try to approach them as well. But anyhow, we have a customer-centric culture. It sounds a little bit as marketing. To be honest, for sure, it's a portion of this is marketing. But as Mr. Ren founded the company, which is still owner of the company with 1.4% of the shares, he said one thing that's very important for our philosophy. I will spend my most contribution to every kind of customer. That means if a customer with 500 euro comes, I spend the same effort, the same dedication, the same input for them as a customer for 500 million. Me as a sales director for Germany, I like more the customers for 500 million. But in general, it's a good philosophy, because if you do good with smaller partners, they will tell the next one. And this keeps us alive, and this makes us very strong globally. So if you, to give you a rough impression about where we are leading and driving 170 countries around the globe. 150,000 employees, I already told you, but more important is our joint innovation and our research and development centers. So we are the only global company which spends so much money and so much efforts in global research and development. Over 70,000 people inside Huawei only working for research and development and develop new technology, defining the future. That's what we are doing. We work for mostly 45 of the 50 global carriers, for the biggest ones. So this is the portion that we are #1. And the reason why we are successful is that we are locally committed. We have global research center out of China, which we try to reflect local demands, like in Germany or in the UK or in Africa or in Russia or whatever. We have there local entities with local research facilities which make an influence or have an impact of our development and our research at all. So all products that we developed are also global products, which fits to the global market. In general, to give you an impression where we are in a market position, for sure, I tell you, recently we are #1 in the carrier market. And as I mentioned before, 45 of the biggest carriers in the world, and we have 50 big global carriers in the market. It will go down a little bit. We already have under contract. So we are there #1, but as you can imagine, if you have 45 out of 50, the space for improvement is little. So we concentrate also on other markets as well. We have 3 business divisions. One is the carrier business, second is the enterprise business, and third is the consumer business, which you know maybe from the mobile phones or tablets, which we provide in the market. I will tell not so much today about this. But anyhow, this drives a lot of business. Our technical approach is due to the fact that we work for global carriers, which have really big demand on quality of products and capacity and throughput and at least a lot of compute node power is necessary to drive their environment. We come from the top to the down to enterprise business and provide on the enterprise level the same quality and the same goods for enterprise customers as well. This brings us in the lead that we already deployed over 4,800 data centers all around the globe. And out of the 4,800, it's 160 cloud data center. I will give you a little bit more information about this later on. In terms of storage, to give you an impression about our growth rate in terms of enterprise, we have a growth rate last year from 80%, that means 18%, sorry, 80% is more my wish, and 18% is the reality. So 18%, that means we are ranking #1 in terms of growth. What you don't see on this chart is our growth rate in terms of server. We are globally in server and storage #4 and #5. In China, we are #1 and #2. It's a small market with 1.3 billion people. So anyhow, it's a good thing that we are there. But to give you an impression about the server as well, in the last year, we grow about 260%. All the other vendors in the world have a decrease beside of one of our competitors, but all of the others had a decrease. And we're not coming from zero. We drive business for most important companies. Maybe also in Germany, you know companies like Alibaba or Tencent. Tencent is similar to WhatsApp as an application for chatting, and Alibaba, you know, is quite more bigger than Amazon. And we drive them globally as our customers. For Tencent, we sell around 100,000 servers in the last 1.5 years. For Alibaba, we sell around 45,000 servers. And we start already last year to build up their data center for Europe in Frankfurt last year, in November. I think we start with this. So you see in other markets as well, enterprise routers, we're ranking #2. LAN switches, we're ranking #3. And in the WLAN, that means wireless connection, we're ahead of all other competitors in terms of projects. May you know, and this is maybe specific for German guys, you know BVB Dortmund project, which is really famous. This is the biggest stadium in terms of average. Over 80,000 people are there each game to support the club. And we create the complete infrastructure for their stadium, including wireless, switching, firewall, security, storage, whatever you need in the complete stadium. Nearly 1,000 access points only for this stadium that we roll out. Out of this business, the next club comes, Schalke 04. If you know German football clubs, you know that it's very tricky to have Schalke and Dortmund as your customers, but we did it. And this morning, we prepared the final signage for another club, which will use Huawei technologies in terms of wireless. I can't tell you the name because it's not signed officially, but let's assume it's one of the 2 top clubs in the football first league in Germany, and it's not Bayern Munich. So you can assume who is it maybe. So LTE is also very important, maybe not so important recently in Germany, but we are the global innovation driver for LTE. And we are already have the 5G standard in our labs in China and all over the globe ready for the market. It will take another 2 or 3 years to make it go to market ready, but the products are there and usable as well. So we are already working on the next standards. Meanwhile, we globally drive the LTE business. Beside of Germany, which is very quite difficult because we have this frequency discussion in Germany, we roll out a lot of LTE solution all over Europe, for example. The police in London, for example, using our LTE technology also to drive more modern systems for communication for their policemen. So to have a double-side communication, to have a more improved communication, faster communication, and really drive more data in this environment. GSMR, we do this recently also for some German customers in the railway as well, but we're leading railway systems for communication globally. So you see, in most of the markets, we try to achieve number 1 or 2. Our target is to be one of the 3 main suppliers for all ICT-relevant fields. What we do in Germany, maybe to give you an impression also to be committed in this, we are the biggest Chinese company in Germany with a settlement here. We have over 1,800, I think it's 1,818, so far as I was told, people here working for Huawei in Germany, settled here with a main location in Düsseldorf, really a nice building which can cover over 900 people, with the exhibition hall and exhibition center which is already mentioned. You can visit our technology and see our technology there in this demo center. But we also have 18 other sites, like in Berlin, in Munich, in Frankfurt. Berlin is very nice. Patrick is sitting there doing some PR works and public relation and communication with the political parties. It's a nice office close to Brandenburger Tor. If you want to visit this, really nice location, we will invite you. So anyhow, but as I mentioned before, important for us as German people is also that we have a strong commitment in terms of research and development. So we have in Nuremberg, in Munich, Research and Development Innovation Center, which takes care for energy, for UPS, that means how we can drive better, secure environments and power consumption. And at least, what is quite new since last year, high-performance computing, which is a new field for Huawei in terms of having concrete discipline solution for high-performance computing, which comes out of our cooperation with a lot of universities. This is a map I think you don't care for, but this shows also that we are able to drive business not only in Germany, also in the other countries in the European region and in nearly every place. So we can cover from points of service, from delivery, from points of support, everything you need to deploy a good business. We have over 500 people working only in Germany in terms of service, which is quite important to deliver to most of our partners. In terms of suppliers or partners that we have in terms of economy, for sure, we have a lot of good, big partners. To be honest, as a sales guy, I like more the operational business, not the global frame contracts and let's say the paperwork. I'm more an operative guy, but for sure it helps a lot that we have global frame agreements, for example, with SAP. SAP is one of our 3 global main partners. Means we drive a lot of business with them globally, and we try to also establish this business here in Germany as well. May you heard that we are recently providing the fastest SAP HANA in-memory platform, which you can buy for money recently. And this SAP platform also drives a lot of very unique big data business. May you heard that last year, Germany won the World Championship. I heard, maybe someone of you heard or see the games. There are some rumors that the reason why they win the German championship is an SAP application called Match Inside. It's an online in real-time application which can analyze games and prepare the training of the players. So it's an online analytic platform which is based on SAP HANA and mostly driven on Huawei HANA platforms. So we are part of the World Championship as well. So anyhow, you see, BVB I always talk about, Schalke 04 I also talk about this. We have great cooperation with Siemens as well, as for example also with Telecom and other providers here. We call this carrier resale enterprise business. That means we also approach them as a reseller business in Germany. And also we have a lot of suppliers which helps us to create a complete solution for our customers all over the globe. In terms of, and this is very, very unique, in terms of projects, we have in each country a lot of local cooperation with mostly every important university. And in Germany, we have roughly a cooperation with over 20 different universities, which we have some development, especially for 5G, for networking, for OpenStack. and especially for transmission, 5G as already mentioned. These are done also in Germany, and we spend a lot of cooperation, and we also have some study exchange programs, whatever is needed to make the cooperation with China and Germany as well. You know that Huawei is very important and that China is in focus, especially this year for CeBIT this is the same. And so we spent over all this year a lot of time and a lot of effort in creating this relationship also on a social shipment. This is what you will see on CeBIT, where we are located at CeBIT. And maybe there's a funny story. Last year we were here, so far away from IBM. But as our revenue grows, we also grow and come closer to the numbers that IBM does. We are a little bit behind, but anyhow. But also to make this as a symbol, we go in the middle of Hall 2, which makes us really important and will be addressable by everybody who passes Hall 2, which is very important. On this main booth in Hall 2, you will see nearly every technology that Huawei provides. And Huawei has a one-stop shopping philosophy. That means with our big research and development team, we produce over 80% of our products by themselves. Even the chip design is done by ourselves. So we will show you here, beside of storage, beside of wireless, beside of data center, beside of edge performance computing, beside of video conferencing, everything what you need to have a complete solution for IT infrastructure. So if you ask for what is the innovative part in this year, I give you a clear answer. We are not in this cycle that we have to provide each 6 months new products. Our target for 2015 is to deliver more stable quality, because the customer wants getting rid of investing every 6 months or every year in new hardware technology. Our approach is to show this year the next version of our already established technology, and which is quite famous as well. I will show you maybe in the next slide. We also have a second booth in the China hall. It's Hall 6. We don't have the half of the booth, but we have a big portion of this booth as well. I think it's 300 square meters in this booth as well, to show our commitment to our local colleagues from China, and also to show that we are really a quite root-based Chinese company as well. So what we will see on the booth is a lot of technology. A lot of the newest, brand new, high quality technology. So in most of the areas which I already present you the position in the market, we will show you the biggest bandwidth, the biggest port density, the best performance technology, the best converged infrastructure platforms, which is in the market. You know that a lot of people asking me, what is about OpenStack technology? What is about virtualization? First you have the compute node virtualization, then the storage virtualization. What is about software-defined networking? We are leaders in this market, and we will show you also how we want to virtualize infrastructures and networks in the future, which is a quite important basic to drive Industry 4.0 things or connected Internet of Things. The basic is our technology, and this is what we want to provide to you. Also very important, maybe you never heard the name before, is service-driven distributed data center. It's data center mal 2, data center im Quadrat in Germany. This is how we virtualize global data centers with our software-defined networking, with our OpenStack technologies, which is a quite new approach, maybe not for all small enterprise customers or mid-sized customers, maybe today more for the big guys, but this is one of the important new things which we drive business, especially in the cloud environment. So for sure we will tell something about storage. You will see the Ocean Store 9000 system, which is the most common product in storage. We will show you our new V3 version of storage as well, with new functionalities, with new license types, with new inventive in terms of more storage per system. This is what we will show. We will show also the Agile Network. Agile Network is very important, because in former times you have fixed hardware components. And Agile means, in Huawei definition, that we try to get rid of fixed ASICs, which can do only one thing. And if you want to do new things in your network, you have to replace the hardware. What we do in future, and this is the word Agile, you will find it in a lot of products from Huawei. Agile means that we have open processors, open ASICs, which you can program. That means if you need a certain kind of function this year to support SDN. You can program it. If you need a different function next year, you can reprogram it. That means you get rid of the short investment times. You can stay with hardware even for 4 or 5 years without getting rid or replace hardware. This makes hardware quite even more stable and the investment more secure. But also you will see a smart city. In Germany, we have a lot of cities which invest in smart city, like Rüsselsheim, Kelsterbach, Stuttgart, Gelsenkirchen. A lot of cities which quite work close with us to approach the market in terms of safe city, of wireless city, and also agile city. And as I mentioned before, we also have these data applications which we use to have a more smart infrastructure for big cities and companies. So this is what you will see in a total. We also have one highlight, which you will see in the Chinese hall, is a total brand new system for communication. I think we have on the next slide, yes, we have a picture here. It's called MirrorSys, and it's a really spacey thing. If you like future technology, it's really a spacey thing. It's like in former times we see some science fiction, and they use such kind of things, but it's only a trick. This is reality. You know that we are in the global market with 2 other vendors. I don't want to mention them. We are leading the video communication and telepresence market. And this is the next step in communication, which is called MirrorSys. It's a wall which is about, I think, 3.5 meter, 4 meter, and 2 meter high, which is a complete monitor, which brings you in a position to have a real face-to-face communication with your opponent. So it's video and conferencing and communication on the next level. So you can see it at the Chinese booth in Hall 6 if you want to see this as well. So for sure we will show some Huawei in Germany if you want to visit this booth. Also we will present you some latest Industry 4.0 facts and technology which drives or makes 4.0 possible. Especially if you to give you an impression, we talk also a lot about communication, car-to-car communication, machine-to-machine communication, etc. And I already mentioned the 5G development, which we are doing recently. And I give you one example why this is very important for industry. Because what we developed in 5G drops down the latency very tremendous. If you want to have an autonomous car driving in the daily streets, and you give them the advice, please stop. It can't take 5 or 6 seconds till the car is stopped or this message comes to the car. You need a very low latency. And this is possible with 5G technology. That means everything what we are doing is important to drive such kind of technologies like Industry 4.0. And then for sure we will have some flagship products as well. As I mentioned, fusion technology, converged infrastructure will be very important at this as well. So the agenda we will, for you, maybe your press guy is very important. We will have some press conferences during the whole events. I think the schedule is not 100% correct. I think it will start a little bit later. But anyhow, we keep you updated on this. But we will have some press conferences where really important Huawei guys will give you a message about the future, about our strategy, about our philosophy in future, and how we try to set up people to be in the right approach for the next 5 years. This is what we want to show in this. And for sure, if you want to meet something at the booth, we have a lot of people there which you can talk with. If you are bored by the day, you will find some Huawei people who really spend time with you. I'm just kidding. You can meet really important guys like Kevin Tao, which is our Western Europe president, a really impressive guy also in terms of strategy. You can meet also Leon Hu. Give him my regards because he's my boss, so be friendly with him. Anyhow, he's the Western Europe Enterprise President. You can meet him as well, and other guys as well for specific dedicated lines. So if you have specific needs or questions for, let's say, networking or for storage or server, please give us some notice in advance and we will schedule an appointment with this important guys. And this is the most important guy, you see. This is Jörg Kapinski, myself. You can also meet me during the CeBIT. And for sure, the guy before me ends with an invitation for CeBIT. We are really happy to participate this year in the CeBIT as well. And CeBIT is very, very important. Also, this preview is very important for us because this shows how big the company is and how proud we are of that what we are doing and that we are one big family and really different to all other companies. I always say we are a mix of so many different colors and so many cultures that makes us really powerful. You can feel it and you can really taste it if you come to our booth. So join it. We also, so far as I remember, have some gala dinners to top the cocktail from the other guy. We have a gala dinner. We can invite you as well for this. But anyhow, I'll really be proud if you like to see it, if you want to have a press tour. One information maybe up front. This year we will also make a media tour to China. If you're interested, please contact us. If you want to go with us to China to see our production line, to see our facilities and exhibition centers in China. Really impressive. I only can give you my recommendation to do so. So anyhow, thank you. This was, I think, most important things. If you have some questions, please talk to Patrick Berger or Bing Hao. May you have some time to notice the email address. Very easy to drop them a mail. Thank you for listening, and hopefully maybe you have some questions. I'm happy to answer.
Thanks a lot for this presentation. Thanks a lot, Jörg.
Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, do you have any questions? No questions right now. Thanks a lot. Let me switch.
Okay.